Good morning, everybody. Mike Niemiec here with some early morning grain and oilseed comments on this Thursday, September 13th. Well, yesterday the USDA gave us their monthly report, and it obviously has some effect on the marketplace. We saw where the grains were down sharply versus the oilseeds being up, mainly by the beans and the meal. Two things I want to say about the report, and I'll get a little bit further into it, but I thought that the trade in general going into the report was kind of more or less set up thinking that the grains are going to be more favorable than the beans. And then they really didn't get that in the grains. If actually they kind of got a little bit of a shocker in the grains as far as the numbers go. And then number two, during the mid-session and even before the report, now we're going to be playing this politics going forward in here. It's like the Russians want to buy wheat, they don't want to buy wheat. They came out and talked about on how the U.S. would perhaps get back with the Chinese and have trade talks resuming again, and obviously that'd be more beneficial to the beans. So I think the trade was set up wrong as far as psychologically, and then number two, with the trade talks as far as maybe perhaps coming back, kind of drove the market more than the numbers. But nonetheless, up and down the whole line, the USDA numbers are not bullish in the sense that they did leave the carryout unchanged for the wheat market here in the U.S., but the trade was looking for a big drawdown in the world wheat stocks. But actually they went on up from 261 to 258 versus a month ago. So that was the big surprise in the wheat market, and the trade being that long weighing on that. Number two, in the corn, even though they raised the demand numbers, which we need to be doing, the big shocker there was the yield number that came in at 181.3. And then there too, that number as far as production out of the U.S. took the corn carryout in the world from 155 on up to 157. So here we thought that the world wheat production numbers were going to come on down, the U.S. would get business, the corn production numbers were coming on down, and we'd get business, but that wasn't the case. And like I said, psychologically, the trade was corn versus the beans. The bean numbers, I mean, once again, I think that the trade talk and the fact that the trade was psychologically set up grains versus the beans. The bean yield was 52.8. The carryout is now 845 million bushels, and the world carryout went from 105 on up to 108. So what's so friendly about that? So on paper, once again, we still have a non-bullish affair going on as far as the S&Ds go from the USDA yesterday. We're going to get our weekly sales coming on out. Obviously, we got to do the business. We have bigger stocks both here and in the world. The trade kind of thought that business would be coming back to the U.S. eventually because of the fact that the carryouts were coming down in both the grains, but that's not the case in the near term. I guess in the perfect world going on here forward, we're going to go and try and harvest our crop. We got the USDA. Trade could perhaps get a little bit shorter in the corn and the beans. See how much farmer selling we get, and then now we can eventually go do business. But that's further down the road than we thought, at least coming fast forward. Then I guess the perfect storm would be is we got the trade short, we harvested our crop, we got competitive with lower prices, and if South America has a weather problem. But that's all wishful thinking at this point in time. So once again, these are my opinions, not that of ADM or ADMIS. Thank you.